My child, you've been feeling uneasy around them, but you keep brushing it off. You keep calling it overthinking. But I've been the one trying to show you that restlessness in your spirit, that isn't imagination, it's revelation. It's me, whispering, tugging, warning, because I love you, because I see what you can't. I see what they say when you're not in the room. I see the motives behind their kindness, and I've been trying to protect you, but you keep ignoring my signs. You keep giving more than you're receiving. You keep defending what I'm asking you to release. Why? Because your heart is loyal, and I created that heart. But now your loyalty is costing your peace, and I never asked you to choose them over me, over my voice, over my peace, over the still, soft warnings I gave you. Remember the silence after that conversation? Remember how heavy your chest felt? That was me, trying to show you they aren't what they pretend to be. You saw it once, then you saw it again, and still you covered it, because you didn't want to believe it. You wanted to love them through it. But love doesn't mean blindness. Love doesn't mean silence. And love doesn't mean staying where I've told you to move from. This is not about hate. This is not about bitterness. This is about obedience. You asked me to remove what's not for you, so I started revealing. And now that I have, why won't you listen? You said, Jesus, just show me. I did, again and again, through your dreams, through delayed peace, through conversations that didn't sit right, through people suddenly exposing truth, and still you're holding on. But you're not just holding on to them, you're holding back what I'm trying to release. You're delaying your peace. You're choosing familiar pain over unfamiliar healing. But healing is here, peace is here, clarity is here. I want to give it to you, but I can't force it. You have to choose it. You have to say yes to what I'm showing you, even when it hurts, even when it's confusing, even when they call you cold for stepping away. You're not cold, you're chosen. You're being separated because I'm bringing you higher, and not everyone can go where I'm taking you. That's why I had to show you the truth. You asked for blessing, but blessing needs space. You asked for peace, but peace can't grow in chaos. You asked for purpose, but purpose requires protection. I can't give you new vision if you keep clinging to old confusion. And that person, they're not bad, but they're not right for your next season. You've tried. You've given them access, and they used it to distract you, to delay you, to shift your focus. Not always on purpose, but still, the fruit shows the truth. And I want more for you. I have more for you. But you have to stop ignoring me. You have to stop pretending you didn't see what I revealed. Because the longer you ignore it, the longer you delay the very thing you've been praying for. Freedom, joy, stability. They're ready. But you must trust me enough to let go. And I know that's not easy. So let's take this slowly. Just start here. Start by acknowledging what you feel. The uneasiness, the restlessness, the heaviness that shows up after being with them. Start by admitting it. That's where healing begins. That's where my power flows. In truth, in surrender, in your soft, simple yes. Now listen. If this message touched something deep in you, and you want to keep hearing my voice, then subscribe. Let me keep guiding you. Let me send more truth, just when you need it most. This isn't about content, it's about connection. Now do this. Type Amen 444 if your spirit is ready to stop ignoring and start healing. 444. Divine protection. Because that's what I'm doing now. covering you, shielding you, standing between you and what's not of me. You are loved. You are seen. And I will not stop fighting for your peace, even if it means pulling you away from what you thought you needed. There's something you keep pushing down, something you've been afraid to admit. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in your sleep. You feel it when you're alone, and you've been calling it confusion. But I call it discernment. That stirring in your spirit, it's me. You're not crazy. You're not too sensitive. You're spiritually awake, and I've been trying to get your attention, but you've been trying to quiet the truth, because truth requires change, and change feels like loss. But what feels like loss is really protection. I showed you the shift in their tone. I showed you how the support faded. I showed you how they changed when you started growing. And I need you to stop pretending you didn't see it. I need you to trust me more than you trust history. Because history is not always holy. Just because someone's been in your life a long time doesn't mean they're assigned to your future. You've been grieving a version of them that doesn't exist anymore. And in doing so, you've ignored the version of you that's trying to rise. But now, that ends. I'm calling your spirit to attention. You're stepping into a new season. And not everyone can breathe in this elevation. You've been wondering why you feel heavy, why everything feels spiritually crowded, why your thoughts won't settle. It's because your heart is full of what I asked you to release. Let it go. Let the version of them you keep hoping for go. Let the illusion die, and let the truth live. They're not against you, but they're no longer aligned with you, and alignment matters more than attachment. You've been attached to something I've already outgrown in you. That's why the tension stays. That's why the joy is leaking, because what once covered you now confuses you. I'm showing you again, through patterns, through silence, through conversations that leave your spirit uneasy. That's not just mood, that's movement. It's how I shift my children, first in the heart, then in the home, then in the circle, and now you feel it. I've been tightening your path because your calling is getting clearer and distractions can no longer stay close. You've got somewhere to go, and I need your hands empty. I need your heart light. I need your focus clear. So listen, you're going to see something soon. A repeated number, a phrase in a dream, a person mentioning something you've been praying about in secret. That's not random. That's me, showing you the next step. Watch for it. When you see it, pause. Let your spirit respond before your logic interrupts. Because I'm speaking, and I won't let you miss what I've prepared for you. This time, you won't walk in circles. You won't return to what drained you. You won't go back to what only celebrated your silence. You're rising now. And your environment must rise too. Your boundaries are holy. Your clarity is sacred. Protect it. Now breathe. You're not being punished. You're being pulled. Pulled into something higher. Pulled out of confusion. Pulled into light. It may feel lonely at first, but it won't last. I have new connections waiting. Hearts that honor yours. Voices that pray when you speak. People who don't just take your oil, they carry their own. I'm sending them, but only after you close this door. The one I already showed you was no longer safe. Now it's your turn. Say yes. Say it fully. Say it with your soul, and I'll respond immediately. Type breakfree212 if you're ready to accept what I showed you, and make room for what's next. 212, the number of spiritual realignment and fresh preparation. That's where you are now, on the edge of something pure, something divine, something that no one will be able to take credit for but me. You're almost there. Just trust me this time. I never show you pain without preparing healing, and I never take without intending to give more. Let me show you what's next. You wanted me to confirm it again. So I did. You saw it again in their behavior, in what they didn't say, in how they changed the subject when you mentioned me. You felt it again. That cold shift, that lack of peace after speaking with them. And still, you pushed the feeling aside because your heart hoped for more. But child, hope without discernment leads to heartbreak. And I didn't give you discernment to ignore it. I gave it to you to guard your heart, to preserve your calling, to keep your spirit clean. You've tolerated too much noise. You've let too many people speak into your atmosphere, and now I need your attention, because there's something bigger on the way, something sacred. And if your heart is distracted when it comes, you'll miss it. That's why I've been nudging you, softly at first, now more strongly, because you keep asking me to bless you. While you're still tied to what's blocking you, I want to give it to you. But I won't give peace where you've welcomed confusion. I won't send clarity into divided spaces. You have to clear the space. You have to protect the oil. You are carrying something holy now, and not everyone who smiles at you is safe for your spirit. I showed you this already, in moments, in tone, in silence. They looked supportive, but their spirit never honored yours, and you knew, but you didn't want to believe it, because it would mean letting go. It would mean grieving what you thought they were. But listen closely. Grieving the truth is better than building on a lie. You can heal from loss, but it's hard to heal from spiritual confusion, and you've lived in that fog long enough. Now I'm blowing the wind. The fog is lifting, and you're seeing clearly now. You're remembering every warning, every check in your spirit, every conversation that left you more tired than before. That's not love. That's manipulation. That's spiritual entanglement, and I came to break it. Because I love you too much to let you settle in the wrong company. There's more for you. But you can't rise while pulling them with you. Some connections are weights, not wings. You've been trying to fly with chains, and still, I covered you. I shielded you from things you didn't even know they said. But I won't allow you to stay where you no longer belong. That season is over. That door is closed. That version of you is gone. You don't have to explain your peace to anyone. Let them say what they want. Let them question your shift. Let them call you distant. You're not distant. You're delivered. And what I'm doing in your life doesn't need permission. It only needs protection. So protect it, with prayer, with silence, with distance, with boundaries that don't bend. I will bring peace to your circle again, but first I will clean it. You may feel alone for a moment, but that stillness, that's where I speak loudest. That's where I fill you. That's where your next instructions will come. Now watch for me. I'll confirm it again soon. You'll see their name. You'll hear a phrase you've only spoken to me in prayer. You'll sense something shift in your chest, deep and final. That's your confirmation. Don't second guess it. Don't explain it away. Don't return to what I've closed. Walk forward, with peace, with power, with me. And now, activate it. Type Shift 711 if you're ready to walk away from confusion and fully into the light I'm calling you to. 711. the number of divine transition and new understanding. This is not the end. This is the release. You are not walking away from something. You're walking into something holy. I've been speaking, you just haven't wanted to hear it. Because hearing it would mean choosing it, and choosing it would mean changing things. But child, obedience is better than comfort. You've said, Lord, just give me peace. And I have. But every time I gave it, you gave it away. You gave it to their presence, to their energy, to their opinions, to their chaos. You kept trying to make them fit what I never assigned to them. But I never told you to bring them this far. They were a part of your journey, not the promise. They helped shape you, but they can't carry you. You've outgrown the atmosphere, and you feel it. You feel off when you're around them. You feel unseen, unheard, unknown. That's not love. That's misalignment. And I won't let you stay misaligned in this season. Not when the door's about to open. Not when the breakthrough is this close. You've been walking with a divided heart. And now it's time to choose. Their version of love or my version of freedom. You can't have both. You tried, you prayed, you cried, you waited. But they didn't change, and now you're changing. I'm not asking you to hate them. I'm asking you to hear me. I showed you who they are. Now believe me. Stop trying to rewrite what I've revealed. The peace left for a reason. I removed the ease for a reason. The conversation feels harder now because grace lifted. The connection feels shallow now because purpose grew. That's not rebellion. That's transformation. It means you're evolving. It means the spirit in you is maturing. You're being set apart. And I won't let distraction follow you into this next door. Because what's coming, it's holy. It requires your full attention. So, if I have to break your heart to protect your calling, I will. Because I know what's waiting. And I know what they're not telling you. That's why I stirred your spirit first. I always speak before I act. And I already spoke. Now comes the shift. Pay attention. You'll see a strange alignment soon. A person you barely know will speak something you've only said in prayer. It will shock you, but that's how I confirm. When no one else knows but me, and then I speak through someone else. That's me, child. That's how I move. That's how I get your heart to trust again. Because I know it's hard. I know you loved them. I know you wanted it to work. But I'm asking you now, will you love me more? Will you trust my voice more than your hopes? Will you lay down the familiar to step into the fulfilled? You're ready. Even if your feelings say you're not, your spirit already knows. That's why the tension is rising. That's why your peace is pushing back. That's why I keep showing you their true spirit in small moments. You can't ignore it anymore. This is your moment. Say yes. Say it with your whole heart, and I'll handle the rest. Type Obey 313 if you're choosing my voice over what's comfortable. 313. Divine confirmation for the obedient soul. This is when it changes. This is when the weight lifts. This is when the blessing begins. You've seen enough. Now it's time to move. I will walk with you. You are not losing. You are being launched. You've been tired. But it's not your body. It's your soul. You're tired from pretending you don't feel what you feel. Tired from justifying behavior I already exposed. Tired from holding up what I've asked you to lay down. And I see it. I see you trying to keep the peace. But what you're really doing is avoiding the truth. Because truth brings change. And change is scary. But child, what you keep calling love has turned into fear. Fear of being alone, fear of confrontation, fear of losing someone you cared for, but you've already been losing something far greater. Your peace, your clarity, your spiritual focus. And I miss you. I miss how close we were. Before the distractions came in, before you started questioning what I showed you, you used to hear me clearly. Now the noise around you is louder than my whisper, not because I stopped speaking, but because you started listening to too many voices, some of them smiling, some of them praying with you, but not all of them praying for you. That's the difference. Discern the spirit, not just the words. Pay attention to the shift in your atmosphere after they leave. Pay attention to how your dreams change when you connect with them. I've been warning you in gentle ways. I've been speaking through silence, through unease, through lost appetite, through that one moment when your spirit said, "This doesn't feel right anymore." That was me. That is me. You've asked me to show you if this is real, but the better question is, why do you keep needing me to show it again? How many times must I uncover the truth before you finally believe what I revealed? I won't compete for your attention. I love you too much to force you. But I also love you too much to stop pursuing your freedom. Because that person, they're not the source of your pain, but they're standing in the way of your healing, and healing is what I came to give you. Wholeness, peace, freedom from confusion. So here's what I need from you now. Choose peace, even if it costs you proximity. Choose clarity, even if it brings temporary sadness, because the sadness will pass, but the confusion, it's been eating at you, and you know it. I've been waiting for your surrender, not a dramatic one, just a simple prayer. Jesus, I trust you more than I trust them. That's it. That's when everything will begin to shift. That's when your eyes will open fully. That's when your strength will return. I'm not taking them to punish you. I'm removing them to preserve you. Because what I placed in you is holy, and it must be protected. Now get ready. You will hear a phrase in the next few days, a line that sounds like it was pulled from this message. It'll come from someone unexpected. That's me. That's how I confirm what you already knew. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to argue. You just need to obey. Let me lead you out. I'll be gentle, but I'll be firm, because your purpose is waiting, and I won't let it be delayed by false peace. Let me clear the way. Let me fight this for you. Just say yes. Type release 855 if you're ready to let go and trust me fully. 855, divine separation and accelerated healing. It's time now. You've carried this long enough. Now I'm carrying you. There comes a moment where you can no longer pretend. You feel it now. The weight, the fog, the drain in your spirit after being near them. That's not love, that's misalignment. And I didn't call you to walk in confusion. I called you to walk in peace. You've asked, Lord, why does this keep happening? Because you keep ignoring the red flags I waved in front of you. They weren't accidents. They weren't coincidences. They were warnings. They were me, trying to protect your anointing, trying to save your energy, trying to keep your heart clean. But you kept explaining them away. You said, "It's not that serious." But child, your peace is always serious to me. I paid for your peace. I fought for your freedom. And I won't let you keep surrendering it to someone I never sent. Their voice became louder than mine, and slowly your faith began to fade. Not because you stopped loving me, but because you started giving your focus to the wrong presence. That's why your spirit feels heavy. That's why your dreams became scattered. That's why your clarity left. because you opened the door to influence without discernment. But I'm not here to shame you. I'm here to restore you, to bring you back to the secret place, where it's just you and me, where my voice is the loudest again, where my love rebuilds what their confusion broke. You've been scattered. Now I'm gathering you again, piece by piece, prayer by prayer, and you'll feel it, starting now, like breath returning, like pressure lifting, like stillness entering your chest. That's me. That's healing. That's what happens when you surrender. You're not weak for feeling it all so deeply. You're sensitive to the Spirit, and that sensitivity is sacred. It's how I speak to you. It's how I show you who's for you and who's not. That person, they were allowed for a season, but that season has ended, and you know it. You've known it, but it hurt to let go. I understand. I felt your tears. I heard your questions, but I never turned away. Even when you ignored me, I stayed near. Even when you tried to force it to work, I whispered. Even when your heart broke silently, I held it, and I'm still holding it now. Now watch this. In the next few days, you will overhear a sentence. It may come through a stranger. It may flash across a screen. It may slip out of someone's mouth casually, but it will hit your spirit instantly, like lightning. That's confirmation. That's how you'll know it's me again. That's how you'll know this message wasn't random. I'm speaking, and now you're ready to hear. The scales are falling. The illusion is breaking, and the clarity is returning. You're stepping into truth now. You're walking in light now. And with that light will come peace you forgot existed. No more questioning their motives. No more replaying conversations in your mind. No more wondering what you did wrong. Because it was never about your value. It was about your protection. You were set apart, and now I'm setting you free. Fully, no residue, no guilt, just peace, just clarity, just me. Type Clarity 626 if you're ready to receive full understanding and step into peace with no apology. 626 Divine clarity, spiritual realignment, and emotional freedom. This is the moment it all changes. You are not broken. You are becoming. And I'm walking with you. Every step. Look how far you've come, even with the pain, even through the confusion, even while holding on to what I asked you to release. You're still here, still listening, still growing, still mine. That matters more than you know. Because I've seen the nights you didn't speak. I heard the prayers you whispered beneath your breath. I watched the moments when you wanted to walk away from everything. But you stayed. Not for them. For me. And that's why I'm speaking to you now. Because you've proven your heart. Even when it hurt. Even when it was misunderstood. Even when people judged your silence. I knew the truth. You were protecting your peace. You were trying to honor what I showed you. Even when it made you lonely. And that matters to me. Heaven honors that. I am not distant from your situation. I'm not far from your confusion. I was there in every step. Even when you couldn't feel me. Even when you thought I had gone quiet. I hadn't. I was watching, testing, protecting, and now releasing. Yes, this is the release. The moment you've been sensing, the shift you couldn't quite explain. It's here, and nothing can stop it now, because you finally surrendered. And what do you surrender? I sanctify, I purify, I multiply. You thought letting go would leave you empty, but it's making room. Room for joy, room for clarity, room for connections that match your spirit. You won't have to force them, you won't have to question them, you won't have to recover from them. They will pour peace into your life. They will sharpen you, not drain you. They will remind you of who you are. Because I'm sending them. You cleared the way. Now comes the reward. You've been tested. Now comes the turning. Now comes restoration. And you'll know it's me, because it will be too perfect to be coincidence. You'll wake up lighter. You'll feel something lift off your chest. And then, a message, a word, a name. Someone will mention them. The one I asked you to release. And it won't hurt anymore. You'll feel peace. You'll feel distance. You'll feel the final seal on your healing. That's me. That's how I love. I never leave you in pieces. I put you back together better than before. And if this message has confirmed what your spirit already knew, then subscribe. Let me keep speaking to you. Let me continue what I've started. This is not about videos. This is about your soul. Let this be the space where I pour into you daily. Now lift your head. There's no shame in this. Only growth. Only light. Only the next level of your journey with me. Type Peace 733. If you're ready to walk forward without guilt, without delay, and with holy clarity. 733, the number of spiritual maturity and divine closure. You passed the test. Now comes the peace. Now, it's finished. Not the pain, the lesson, not the love, the attachment, not the person, the illusion. You've seen what I needed you to see. You felt what I allowed you to feel. And now, I'm lifting you. Higher than before. Not just in spirit, in strength. Because, child, you didn't just survive this. You learned from it. You stopped explaining red flags. You stopped ignoring discernment. You stopped calling confusion grace. And heaven noticed. I noticed. This is what obedience looks like. It's not loud. It's not always understood. It's quiet decisions made in the dark that shift everything in the light. That's what you've done. And now, everything shifts. You've graduated from that cycle. That person was an assignment, but the test was yours. Would you trust me over what you felt? Would you believe me over what you hoped? And you did. Even through tears, even through silence, even through your own doubts. But you still said yes, and that yes unlocked something. Now the heavens respond. Now the favor comes. Now the opportunities align. Doors that were closed begin to creak open. People who forgot you start to remember your name. Peace you thought was gone returns in waves, and the voice of confusion, it goes silent. Because I have silenced it. This is what it feels like. To be aligned, to be whole, to be clean in spirit, to be ready. Ready for the assignment I preserved you for. Ready for the voice I'm placing in you. Ready for the blessings I had to hold back until your hands were empty enough to carry them. You thought this was rejection, but it was redirection. You thought this was loneliness, but it was preservation. You thought you were falling apart, but I was building something new. You'll see it soon. You'll be in a room and you'll feel it. That peace that makes no sense. You'll be surrounded, but not drained. You'll be seen, but not judged. You'll be honored without needing to beg for it. That's what's coming. And you'll remember this moment. You'll remember this word. Because this isn't just a message. This was a rescue. You were about to settle again. About to return. About to call what I removed safe. But I interrupted it. Because I'm that kind of savior. I don't just love you in church. I love you in your decision making. I step in before the fall. I whisper before the storm. And you listened. So now, walk forward. No guilt, no shame, no apology. You are covered. You are cleared. You are chosen. And nothing from this moment forward can block what I've assigned to your name. Type Victory 1010 if you receive this release, this restoration, and this divine next chapter. 1010, the number of complete deliverance and the beginning of divine order. You are free now. You are whole. You are mine, and I'm not letting go.